Hi everyone, it's Mrs Maynard here with the Year 1 New Foundation Learning. This week our new learning is going to be about PSHE. Can you remember what PSHE stands for? So we've got personal, social, health and economic. So what do we learn in PSHE? Well, we learn to be safe and happy and healthy, not just now when you're a child, but also when you're a grown-up. In our learning this week, I'm going to share a story with you. Whilst I read the story, I'd like you to think about ways that we can all help keep our earth happy and healthy. I hope you enjoy it. Bye. Wonderful Earth by Nick Butterworth and Mick Inkpen. First of all, there was darkness, nothing, zero. Then God said, "Let there be light." And there was. Then suddenly there were stars and planets and galaxies and comets and meteors and great clouds of gas, all whizzing about and going bang. It was like an enormous firework display. And God said, "That's not bad for a start." Out of all the millions and billions and zillions of planets, God picked out one to be special. Why this one? I don't know. It wasn't even big. It was the Earth. God made the Earth spin, which made the day and night, and he made the moon go round the Earth, which made the months, and he made the Earth go round the sun, which made the years. Then, with his finger, he gently nudged the North Pole a little to one side, which made the summer turn to winter and back again. It was all very complicated, like making a giant clock, but it all worked perfectly. On the Earth, God made dry land and water. The land had mountains and canyons and deserts and huge exploding volcanoes. The water was even better. God made rain and rivers and mist and waterfalls and hailstones and snow and icicles and icebergs and great oceans with enormous crashing waves. Just out of water. Then came the plants, little twiddly ones at first, too small to see. The plants grew and grew and grew until great forests spread right round the earth and the whole world turned green. It was very beautiful. There were all kinds of plants. Some had leaves like giant hands. Some had long spiky ones, some had small feathery ones, and some had no leaves at all. Some could grow in just one day, and some lived for 1,000 years. Some had lovely flowers, and some had delicious fruit. Some had seeds as big as your head, some had seeds like dust, and some had seeds that whirled like helicopters and grew into great big trees. But now the fun really started. God made animals. He made some black and white, and some brightly coloured, some with lots of hair, and some with lots of teeth, some who lived in big groups, and some who live by themselves, some high jumpers, and some low jumpers, some with stripes, and some with spots, some very big, and some tiny, some with long necks, some who are good at fishing, some with horns made of hair, some that hiss, and some that roar. Some fat and grey, some tall and pink, some with rings on their tails, and some with stings on their tails, some with tentacles, and some with tusks, some fast, and some slow, some with blue feathers, and some with blue bottoms, some who like it cold, and some who like it hot, some birds that can't fly, and some fish who can. God made hummingbirds as small as bees, and whales as big as buses, chameleons that can change to any colour, sloths that grow moss on their backs, parrots that can talk, and swifts that sleep while they are flying, moths that look like leaves, and insects that look like sticks, skunks that smell disgusting, except to other skunks, squirrels that fly, bees that dance, worms that eat mud, and goats that eat anything, dolphins that smile, crocodiles that grin, and hyenas that laugh, butterfly fish and parrotfish and lionfish and batfish and catfish and dogfish and hogfish, hairy caterpillars and bald eagles, beavers that build dams and moles that dig tunnels, kangaroos that carry their babies in pouches, and pelicans with beaks like shopping bags, sharks with teeth like razors, beetles with antlers, gorillas as strong as 10 men, jumping fleas and jumping spiders, toads that blow themselves up like balloons, electric eels and beetles that glow in the dark, bears that sleep all winter long, termites that make tall houses tough as concrete, salmon that can swim up waterfalls, lizards like dragons, elephants with noses like hoses, and squids that squirt ink. He made animals that sing and squawk and spout and hiss and hoot and howl and honk and chirp and peck and pounce and flap and fly and slide and slither and squirm and creep and crawl and prowl and growl and gallop and glide and dive and swoop and jump and hang and warble and squeak and roar. And he made the duck-billed platypus. And he made a whole lot of animals that you have probably never heard of. The dugong, the common noddy, the slow loris, the wrestling half-beak, the football fish, the banana quit, the weedy sea dragon, the pink fairy armadillo, the rubber boa, the lousy watchman, the bush squeaker. And last but not least, he made something really wonderful. What do you think it was? It was you! And me, of course, and everybody else. He made people. We're his masterpiece, his best effort. Hooray! In some ways, we're a bit like God. We can think and talk and make things. We're really very clever. We're so clever, we've even walked on the moon. Now, you'd think, with such a wonderful world to live in, we'd take good care of it, wouldn't you? Especially being so clever. But lately, we haven't been making a very good job of it. We've chopped down the forests. We've filled the air with dirty smoke. We've made the rain sour. We've poisoned the rivers and the seas. And destroyed the places where animals live. We've even made the weather go wrong. That's not very clever, is it? Our poor old world isn't very well at the moment. It's in a terrible mess. We're spoiling the beautiful place God gave us to live in. We must stop to think. Does he really want us to chop down the trees? Does he really want us to make all that smoke? How can we clean up the rivers and the rain? How can we look after the plants and animals? Well, it won't be easy, but if we ask him to help us change, maybe, just maybe. How could we help to keep our earth healthy? Here are some ideas. Now it's challenge time. Could you record your ideas of how to keep our earth healthy? You could write a list. You could make a poster. You could even write a letter to someone explaining how they can help. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing your work in the comments below.